We're going to start off with Dupo Police Chief Dennis Plew. He'll give you an update on the police officer's condition.
Well, thanks, Brett. Start me now. Good morning, everyone. My name's Dennis Plew. I'm the Chief of Police with Dupo, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I'm not going to mention the officer's name at the request of his family. He's still under security protocol at the hospital. Right now, he's undergone at least one surgery. He is in stable condition, but he's still in very critical condition. The outcome looks good. He's looking at more surgeries down the road. His family is very upbeat about it. Of course, very saddened as to what happened and everything. But it appears at this point in time, he should have a full recovery. It's just going to be over a long, long period of time. While I have the opportunity, I just want to thank everybody, all these agencies, St. Clair County Sheriff's Department, Illinois State Police. You have no idea the outreach of law enforcement agencies that came to our aid in a time of need during a critical incident. We had departments from the Missouri side, the Southeast District of Missouri, U.S. Marshals, Southern District of Illinois, U.S. Marshals, Sauget Police Department, Monroe County, Columbia Police Department, Madison County, Sauget, everybody, the Cahokia Police Department. Everybody was just phenomenal towards us, and I appreciate that so much. I didn't know how I'd be able to thank everybody. Sheriff Watson, he just let his people come out and take control of the situation along with the state police, and it worked out very well. So I appreciate that from all the law enforcement agencies. Thank you.
In reference to the incident yesterday on Sunday, February 26, 2023, at 13:18 hours, the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department was dispatched to 457 McBride Avenue in Dupo, Illinois. It's an unincorporated St. Clair County in reference to shots fired and a subject down in the front yard. The Sheriff's Department asked for assistance from the surrounding agencies. A Dupo police officer was the first officer to arrive on scene. The officer located the suspect walking south down McBride Avenue when he exited his patrol vehicle. The officer engaged with the suspect in the roadway of McBride Avenue and was shot by the suspect outside of his vehicle. The suspect then took off in the officer's patrol vehicle and drove north on McBride Avenue, and then later went south and returned to his address at 769 McBride Avenue. He parked the vehicle in the back of his driveway by his garage, so it wasn't very easily seen from the roadway. At Cokie Heights, police officer had arrived on scene after the Dupo police officer had been shot while the suspect was fleeing in the patrol vehicle. The Cokie officer attended to the Dupo police officer and got him medical assistance, and he was transported over to a St. Louis hospital. The St. Clair County Sheriff's Department, along with many local agencies, arrived on scene in the security perimeter of 769 McBride Avenue. The Illinois State Police SWAT team and the Special Response Team from the Belleville Police Department and St. Clair County Sheriff's Department were also called to the scene. Many agencies came to our assistance, like Chief said, all the way Granite City, Monroe, the Marshals, FBI, State Police, many agencies. And we'd like to thank them for their assistance in this. The victim at 457 McBride was finally able to be checked. It was determined that he was deceased from his gunshot wounds that occurred. Several witnesses were located along with other evidence from the shooting at 457 McBride Avenue. The St. Clair County investigators, along with the Illinois State Police investigators, began working this as a joint investigation. St. Clair County investigators was handling the homicide on 457 McBride, and Illinois State Police was taking care of the police officer's shooting. During all their work together, gathering information in reference to both the homicide and officer-involved shooting, they was able to determine who the suspect was for the homicide and positively ID him. Both set of investigators were able to present this information to the St. Clair County State's Attorney's Office and obtain an arrest warrant and a search warrant for the suspect and his property. At approximately 21:20 hours, the Illinois State Police SWAT team and SRT team began to breach the residence at 769 McBride Avenue. Upon breaching the residence, it was determined he was not inside of the residence. Both teams then repositioned and began to breach the garage that is detached in the back of the property. Upon breaching the garage, a body was found lying on the garage floor. After further investigation, it was determined that the victim in the garage was our suspect for the homicide and the shooting of the Duplo police officer. It was determined that he had been deceased from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Illinois State Police crime scene processed both 457 McBride Avenue for the homicide, a bobcat that was used that the suspect was driving during the incident, and 769 McBride Avenue. Next to the suspect was recovered an AR-15 rifle, which we know was used in the self-inflicted to himself and to the homicide. It's still being investigated. We're pretty sure that was the same weapon used also when he shot the Duplo police officer. Our victim at 457 McBride Avenue was a Darrell T. Mance. He's a 46-year-old white male. He was acquaintance with our suspect. They knew each other. They had worked together. It is still undetermined upon our investigation what the motive was and what the cause of the shooting was. Our suspect is Reginald O. Allen. He's a 40-year-old white male. He's had a lengthy criminal history in St. Clair County. All law enforcement in this area was very familiar with him. All persons are considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So we're still investigating this, but that's what we have at this time. I would like to thank all the agencies, especially the Illinois State Police, for their assistance and cooperation with us and working with us to make this a successful ending to this terrible tragedy. At this time, I want to turn it over to Sheriff Rick Watson.
You know, let's remember in all this that there's victims. You know, and it's not just not the person that was killed or shot themselves or anything else. There's families, there's mothers, there's fathers, and just remember there's victims in all this. I will say that this was an excellent job of police work, and everybody came together and did a great job. We've got some young investigators that I personally watched them step up and do a great job. And I'm tired too, fellas. I'm telling you right now, I'm tired. I was up late last night myself. But I just want to thank everybody that stepped up and worked on this. Thank you.
The victim, Mr. Mance, did he live on McBride also?
He frequent McBride. We're not for sure where his actual residence is at this time. We know he doesn't live at 457 McBride. He was visiting there.
But he worked with the gunman, the suspect?
He had worked on and off with him, yes.
And do you know where the suspect got the rifle that you mentioned?
We do not.
When you talk about the suspect, he was very well known in St. Clair County. Can you talk about kind of the lengthy history he had? Can you mention what he was known for doing?
Okay, come on.
I don't have that in front of me at this time. I can definitely reach out to you guys, but he definitely had a nice history in St. Clair County that we was familiar with. I don't want to misspeak without having the information in front of me, so at this time I'm not going to say.
Where was the Duplo officer shot?
Chief?
Yeah, he was shot in the shoulder.
Chief, can you tell us how long the officer's been in law enforcement and how old he is?
Yes, He is 49 years old, and he's been in law enforcement for 12 years.
All with your department?
No, he is not. He was previously with the Cahokia Police Department and South Roxana Police Department.
Do you want to kind of talk about, so we just don't glaze past this, that, I mean, he was shot on the job. Anytime this happens, it's, you know, it's scary for them, it's scary for their family. Do you just want to kind of talk about that as a police officer, the danger going into it every day, and how he's going to have to recover from this?
Yeah, it is a danger, and everybody that gets into this profession, they know that going into it, but you have no idea the family that you join when you join law enforcement. I don't mean just the police officers. The police officers' wives, their husbands, their children, their girlfriends, their boyfriends. It is one enormous family. The people that showed up at that hospital just to see the family, the newly appointed chief of police of St. Louis showed up at the hospital. We don't know him. I don't know him personally. I don't even believe he's from this area. But, you know, that just speaks a lot about the respect that we have for one another and what a huge family and love we have for one another.
So your officer was shot by the gunman before your officer was able to talk to him, or?
I don't know. I don't know
Did
that
your officer
information.
fire any shot?
I don't know, and our officer we have not been able to speak to him.
What are the main questions that you would like to get answers to at this time? You mentioned you don't know the motive, maybe that, but what else is out there that's outstanding still?
I'll let Master Sergeant Clausen speak to that.
We would definitely like to find the motive. It might be difficult now, but we will continue to investigate that. And if we can also locate how he obtained a firearm, which he should not have had.
Can you talk about, he had a criminal history, you guys said he was known, should he have been in custody?
No, nothing current that he should have been locked up at this time, no.
But his past, it's a violent criminal history, I assume.
Yes.
What about mental health? Would that have made sure that he shouldn't have a gun as well?
I don't think he had ever been diagnosed with anything in reference to that, and as far as I know, he was not on any kind of medication to say otherwise.
Sergeant, that work you mentioned, was it a factory, or do you know what the work was? Did they do where they do each
They did construction. Our suspect was in the construction, so Darrell would assist him in doing rehab on homes and building things.
And the site where this happened, a Dupo officer was shot, and was this in the Dupo limits, or was this, like, I read something about...
The Dupo police officer was responding to assist the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department. It's in
Not in the
unincorporated.
city limits of Dupo, but the Dupo officer arrived there.
Correct.
And that Bobcat you mentioned, did that belong to Mr. Mance or the gunman?
It belonged to the gunman.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Were there evacuations of these neighboring homes yesterday? We heard about something like that going on, but there wasn't a lot of information being publicly disseminated through your office or whoever. So we're wondering why there wasn't more information being put out. Did you have information that he had access to TVs or phones or things like that?
Well, we knew that he was still armed and was holed up. We was being informed that he had hiding spots that he could take shots at officers responding. So yes, the immediate area was started to be evacuated due to it being so active and hostile. That's why there wasn't much communication with the media at that time.
Did he shoot at officers during the standoff at that point?
No, there was no other shots fired after the Dupo police officer was shot.
You know, what time would you guess that he would have shot himself then? I mean, the standoff went for several hours. When do you think he would have?
It is definitely hard to say. We can't determine that.
Are you looking into the possibility, again back to the motive, that they were in a dispute over the Bobcat or construction equipment or something related to their business dealings together?
Yeah, we're looking into that.
You're looking into
Into whether if it was money related, drug related, a female issue. We are not sure. So yeah, we're looking into every aspect of it.
You know, we're less than 24 hours from the time of the incident, so there's a lot of questions to be answered, and we got work to do.
Do you have a photo of the suspect that you can share with us?
Yes, Sergeant Hendricks will have that, the handout.
Is this the same Mr. Allen, that was charged in relation to the death of someone in a strip club parking lot back in 2009 for running over a customer and ended up leading to a lesser charge?
Yes.
Can you talk about, you mentioned being tired, your message to the public of all this violent crime that seems the region has experienced?
A lot of work, a lot of hours, a lot of late night hours. And, you know, it wears on you sometimes. And today, a lot of investigators are tired, and rightfully so. I went to bed at 3:30 and got up at 6, so what do you think I am?
Can I ask one final question, please?
Yes.
I found it very interesting what she just asked about the strip club. It portrays a man who sounds like kind of a hothead. Can you tell us, what do we know, just going back, because that's the only criminal thing specifically that we know about him. What happened back at that strip club case involving the suspect this weekend?
I would have to go back and review all that.
Well, you don't
It's
have
been
to
a
give
while.
me the exact details, but just in general terms, as she mentioned, what was he accused of doing?
I would have to review it. I can't remember everything off the top of my head, so I would have to review all that.
13 years ago.
Well, you do remember when prompted by her that he ran over somebody? Is that what you're saying?
I think it was in reference to that, yes. I'm not positive.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Well, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you, sir.